Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, today I get to share with you the brand new card kit from Simon Says Stamp for July 2026. It's called Pop Art. And we're just going to go over the kit contents and then we're going to jump in and create some cards using this kit. Okay, this kit is fully loaded with some stash building supplies, including this mesh bag. I think the colors will vary. I got gray. I don't think I have the gray, which is really nice. It's a nice bag that will hold all of your supplies. I love these bags. Okay, and then we get our stamp set this month. It's called Pop Art. And I just love all of these little squares and circles. This is going to be so much fun to play with. Okay, this comes with a coordinating Pop Art Pieces die set that will cut these out so you can mix and match the layers that are in between. Okay, this is what those dies look like. I already put them on my magnet. And I believe you're meant to keep these together. So when you die cut this out, you'll get 4 rings. And then you die cut this out, you'll get 4 squares. And then you can layer them with different colors on the base pieces. And then you can stamp on those with the squares and circles that are in the stamp set, including the greetings. How fun is this? Okay, so that's included. Also included, you get some cardstock, and it is a heavyweight cardstock, great for die cuts, nice for stacking too. And then you also get the gold from Tim Holtz. It's the craft metallic, so it's die cuts beautifully. Also included is this little plastic thing. You're probably wondering what this is. These are so nice. You're gonna love these. These, what you do is just reinforce. Let's put this aside and I'll show you the rest in just a minute. To create this, it's very easy. First, to reinforce all of these score marks, okay, on all of, anywhere you can score, folded. Okay, including the flaps. Very easy to put together. The piece that has this little notch, okay, that goes on top. Okay, so you fold these sides in, fold the flaps in the bottom, lift the bottom up, and then these little notches go tucked in these little slits here. At least I think this is the way you put it together. This is the way I put mine together. Okay, and then this top flap goes in this little middle one. And then you have a fun little box. Now this box will hold your Simon Says Stamp Pawsitively Everything envelopes. Okay, I keep my sentiment strips in these boxes because it fits it beautifully. You see there? But if you, I was thinking about even putting my my foil plates in one of these little sets. So this is really handy little box, and you don't have to use the envelopes. This is what the pocket envelopes look like. This wasn't included in our kit, but they hold this beautifully. In fact, I think they have a set where you could buy the box and the envelopes. I'll link it down below. But lots of things can fit in here. I mean, they're very tall. You could probably even put markers. Let's see. You could even put your Copic markers if you wanted to. Those will fit beautifully in there. You see how tall they are? Okay, and then you could really store so many different things in there. You could put your distress sprays will fit beautifully in here too. Look at distress spritz. You have a little bit more extra room on top, but these little things are very handy, I have to say. And so we get one of these in our kit. I could go on and fill it with a whole bunch of different things, but I think you're wanting me to make some cards, so I'm going to put this to the side, but that's included in the kit too. Okay, also included, we get 2 of the, well, let me tell you which ones they are. A regular and a reverse bold headlines, extra large easy sentiment strips. Are great on their own. Use your paper trimmer, trim them out. You can actually foil these too. But you get 2 of these. One is reverse, which would be the black, and then you get this one. Okay, and these are meant to go. You can die cut them out with a die from Simon. This is the extra large easy strips rectangles. So you can cut these out with this die, which is not included, but I did want to show that you could cut them out with ease if you wanted to. So these 2 pieces, they're nice and big and bold, go really well with our stamp set. Okay, we also get some paper. These are 4x4 sheets of textured cardstock and a buffet and rainbow of colors. This is going to be really fun to use with the dies. I just can't wait. I didn't even go over the cardstock, but maybe we should. We get 2 sheets of Nina Solar White. It's a heavyweight cardstock. And then you get 1 sheet of Simon Says Stamp's black heavyweight cardstock. So 3 8.5 by 11 sheets of cardstock. Okay, and then you also get some Positively Dazzling Gems. I have Prism, but there's 2 options. You may get Prism or you may get Clear. And the Prism has a iridescent purpley tint to them. You can kind of see it on camera. The new camera helps. I like that it's not fuzzy for you guys. Okay, and then this is what the clear, I happen to have the clear too, so I'll show you what the clear looks like. The clear just looks like rhinestones. So you'll get either or. Okay, my kit actually came with the Prism. Okay, and then lastly, you get a little sweet treat. Mine looks like it's orange cream, and this might be my treat today. Okay, Simon has tons of add-ons that go with the card kit this month. And they sent me one of them to share with you, and it's pretty fabulous. Look how chunky it is. I'm loving this. This is called Paper Cut Messages. They do have a coordinating die set for this, for your craft stash. So this is an add-on, guys. But that's everything in the kit this month. And we are going to go ahead and jump in and create some cards. Okay, I tried to figure out the best way to do this. And so what we're going to do is do our die cutting and layering all together at once for all 3 cards. I think that's just going to be a lot easier. And then as I was looking at it and trying to figure out my designs, kind of jotted down 3 little designs that I wanted to do. Sometimes my cards don't turn out like what I have sketched out, but for today I thought it'd be fun. I always want to do something that nobody else is doing. Okay, that's how my mind works, because I want to give you guys something original, something else to do with the kit. So for today I thought we'd make some Kinetic cards. And as far as Kinetic goes, it's just going to be real simple. I had created a spinner card a while back, and I thought we would break out those spinners that I used. I picked these up on Amazon, and I'll link them down below in case you didn't watch that video. If you do want to watch that video, I'll link it at the end. Okay, but these just make really fun spinning motions on your card, and they're not that thick. They may be sold out. If they are sold out on Amazon, I'll link another set. Okay, but these are about the same width as foam tape, so it doesn't add too much bulk. So we'll make a Kinetic card with the spinners, and then I'm going to make a Kinetic card with the mini action wobble. Okay, and then I think you could use a larger size action wobble too, because I'm going to put it behind a greeting. And then I'm also going to bring in some twine. The twine I figured we'd make another Kinetic card using twine. Okay, I thought that would be fun. So we're going to start by doing die cutting all at once. I'm going to take the dies that are in our set. I guess you could separate these, but I don't think they're meant to separate. So I'm going to keep them together, and I'm going to die cut out a square and the circles. These are going to create square frames and circle frames with all of these colors of cardstock. I figured some bright cherry colors would go well today with our paper pad. So break out your paper pad, and of course you could do any color combination that you want. I think if you were to replace maybe orange with purple, I think that would be really fun. You got lots of options as far as colors go. But I'm going to run these through my die cut machine. So I'll have 4 sets of circles, 4 sets of squares. And then I'm also bringing in some white cardstock, and I'm going to die cut out 2 of these, 4 of these with white, and then I'm also going to do white circles with these 2. I'm going to do 4 sets of circles with this set, and then we'll do 2 sets with the square. I have a lot of die cutting to do. I will do that, and then we're going to layer them together for all 3 cards. Okay? My die cutting is all done, and we're going to start with our circles. So I took 3 of the backgrounds, and then I'm bringing in my glue, and we're just going to cover all 3 circles. Okay, so we got glue on here. Make sure you go to the end because that's where the largest frame will go. Okay, so now we have glue on there. If you want to use your tape runner, you could do that. My white circles. I'm going to start with my white frame. We're going to add the 4 white frames to each one of these. And then I'm going to go with the colors. I'm not going to take the largest. I'm going to take the second from the largest, and I'm going to add each of the colors in here. Okay, and then I'm going to take the next color, or do we want to do white? Yeah. Now I'm going to flip around the colors and add a different color to each one of these. Kind of just mixing and matching. Lovely. And then as far as the inside circles go, I'm going to go ahead and add a different color here also. Okay, these will be for 1 card. I'm going to put these to the side. Okay, and then we're going to work on our square. Now for my square, we're going to take both of them, and we're going to add some glue here. We're going to do the same thing with 2 of our squares. Okay. Now I'm going to take the largest here, and we're going to add a white frame. Okay, and then we have the colors. Okay, we'll do a green and an orange. Let's do a blue next. These can be any color combination that you want. And then we'll do pink. There we go. Now for the inside pieces, we're going to add the white ones. And I got a little ink on that. That's okay. Okay. So these ones we're just adding 2 colors to. These are all done. Okay, and then as far as my leftover papers go, I'm going to stack them together. And then I'm going to trim these down. These are 4-inch wide, so I'm going to do, we're going to trim these down into 1/2-inch strips. Okay, I'm going to just do 4 of them. Okay. Now what we're going to do is do some stamping on each one of these. So let's bring in the stamp set. I'll bring in my stamping positioner. I'm going to stamp on the edge, "You are amazing." We'll go ahead and stamp "You are amazing." Lovely. Put another one in here and wipe this off, and we'll grab another. We'll put this one back, and then we're going to take the stars next. Wonderful. For this one, we're going to skip the white and add polka dots to our blue. Just pick this one up. For this one, we're going to add some polka dots. I'm going to stamp "Happy Birthday" on the pink. Now I'm going to bring back the stars, and the one that we stamped "Happy Birthday" on, I thought we would use a colored ink. So I'm going to bring in my Simon Says Stamp Marine ink, and we're going to add some blue stars around the border here. Lovely. Okay, so that's all done. We'll put those to the side, and now we're going to work on our squares. For my squares, I'm going to put in the corner because we're going to restamp. Okay, so let's bring in, I actually like the whole shamir of this one. So we're going to stamp the happiest of birthdays. Lovely. And then I'm going to add my other square right over the top and stamp it one more time. Just make sure it stays in the corner because it's not tacked down. Okay. That was pretty easy. Now we're going to bring in the stars. Lovely. Okay, and then we're going to stamp those stars with black ink. I'm going to stamp them again. We're stamping on some texture. Okay, and then I'm going to add my second layer here. Put that in the corner, and we'll stamp some more stars here. It shifted, and we'll do it. Okay, wonderful. And then let's go ahead and add those little itty bitty stars in the middle. It's so cute. And we'll add we're going to do it to both of those squares. Lovely. Okay, so these squares are all done. The same, just different colors. One more circle. Okay, and in this circle, we're going to stamp "You Are Loved." We're going to add this here. And then we have "You Are Loved" here. Wonderful. Now all of our blocks are done. And we're going to go ahead and jump in with our first card. Now for my first card, we're going to use these circles, and we're going to create spinners with them. And we're going to trim down a 1.5 inch strip here. We'll go by 5.5. Okay, and then this is going to go on our card base. And then I'm going to bring in my foam tape. Well, actually, no, I'm not. Okay, we're going to spin the ones that have the greetings. Okay, so I'm going to flip these over, and I'm bringing in my spinners. I'm just going to add a dot of glue here. And then we can just attach these. Now, the spinners have a wider edge. The spinners have wide, and then if you flip it over, it's more narrow. I'm going to take the narrow and put that down on the back side of my, on the back side here of my circles. Okay. We'll just attach these. Now this is one of those cards, if you don't have spinners, you don't need them. Okay, you can make this card without it. Okay, and then now we're going to take these two, and I'm going to go wonky with them. I'm going to figure out the placement here because I want them to go kind of wonky like this. So I think that's a good placement. So I'm going to glue these down. I think that looks really fun. Now I'm going to bring back the stamp set, and this is a happy birthday card. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my happy birthday here. Let's just bring in an acrylic block. And I'm using my VersaFine Clair for this. And I'm going to stamp happy birthday here. Wonderful. And then we have our Positively Dazzling Gems. We're going to add a few. Okay, and then I'm going to take my corner rounder, and I'm going to round the corner on the bottom edge here. Lovely. And that is a fun birthday card. Lots of sparkle. That's my card number 1. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next card. Next card's going to be just as fun. I'm bringing in a square. Now I'm bringing in a square die set. This is what happens to be from Spellbinders, and I'm going to take a square that's just a little bit bigger than the squares that we had created. I think that's going to work perfect. Okay, I'm going to take a card front panel. This is my card base. Okay, and now I have a card front panel. I'm going to create a window in this panel. Now I'm going to open up my card base. I'm going to line this up here. And then I'm going to tack this down right over my card base so I know it's in the same exact position. And I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. Okay, so we just removed this, and then now I have a window inside my card base that matches the window on my panel. Okay, now I'm going to take this same die that we used for this, and then using our gold cardstock, I'm going to go back to my square dies, take one size larger, and we're going to create a gold frame. We have our card base and our panel. We're going to do some stamping on our panel. Now I have 4 different colors of inks that match the colors that we have in here. I have Seafoam, Sherbet, Carnation, and Limalicious. This says happiest of birthdays, so I'm going to go through my stamps here. My idea is we're going to take the hello. Okay, so let's kind of season it a little bit, and then we're going to add hello. I just kind of want to go, let's kind of go continuous with hello. Okay, and at an angle, we're going to fill in our background with all of these colors. And you know, I was going to go in a row, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So we're just going to stamp a whole bunch of hellos. Okay, we're just going to randomly stamp a whole bunch of hellos. And there we go. We have a whole bunch of hellos here. I'm going to go ahead and take my gold frame and we're going to layer it around this frame. Okay, now we're going to take our little happiest of birthday squares. We're actually going to sandwich them together using some twine. So let me bring in a piece of twine. And you know, or maybe I should use gold thread. I was going to use twine, but maybe we'll use some gold thread instead. I'm going to use my gold DMC floss instead. I think this is going to work out better, but I'm going to double it up. Okay, because it is kind of thin. Okay, and then I think this will look nicer. I'm going to make sure my hearts are right side up. Okay, and then I'm going to add some adhesive just using my tape runner. We are going to tape down. That's the great thing about the Spellbinders tape runner, is they're little tape pieces, and you can really go over twine so it doesn't go anywhere. Then I'll take this one and layer it right over the top. So now we have our square sandwich between the twine. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to layer. We're going to put this here. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to add foam tape behind it. Okay, I remove the release paper, and then we're going to layer this on the front. Well, let's close it up here. I'm going to layer this on the front of our card base, centering it with that window, like so. So when you open it up, this is what it looks like. Okay, and then what you want to do is just give it a good twirl. I'm glad I used gold instead of the white. Okay, and then you would put this in your card, and then when a recipient opens it up, you get a nice little spin. So that's another great way to use, so that's another Kinetic card. We are going to add a few bells and whistles. I'm just going to add a few of our gems, and that will finish off that card. For my next card, we have these strips, and then now these are 4-inch strips. I'm going to take another A2 card panel, and we're going to trim this. We're going to trim this to 3.5 inches wide. Okay, and then I'm going to take our gold cardstock, and I'm going to trim this. I'm going to trim a 1-inch strip here. Let's trim a 1 1/4 inch strip. Okay, I'm also going to take this, and using some circle dies, I'm going to cut out a circle that's just a little bit larger than my You Are Loved. Okay, I'm going to layer my You Are Loved, and I'm going to layer that on my gold circle here. Okay, let's add our stripes here. We're going to add them at the bottom. I was going to go at a diagonal, but I changed my mind. We're just going to go straight. Anything overhanging, I'm going to trim away with my scissors. And I think I'm going to bring in some more of that gold, and I'm going to cut down a really thin strip. Maybe I can get away with. Okay, let's go a really thin strip here. And I'm going to use my glue. I'll put a really thin bead of glue here at the top, and then we can add this. Okay. Now we're going to bring in our stamp set. In our stamp set, we have this large heart, and we have the small heart. We're going to take both of them. And using those same inks, we're going to stamp some hearts in this upper portion here. But I'm afraid I don't want to get it on the bottom half, so I'm going to mask this off. Let's see. Okay, 3 is good. And I'm going to wait for the smaller heart. And then we'll take our sea foam. Take our sea foam next. I'm going to overlap these two. Wonderful. There's sea foam. And we'll add carnation. Then we have our last color, which is sherbet. Let's overlap these two. Okay, so this is wonderful. We'll remove the mask. And there we go. Okay. I'm going to stretch this. I was going to do the entire strip, but you know, I'm going to trim this to a 1/2 inch strip. I don't think I need that much. Okay, so we're just going to use a 1/2 inch strip, and then I'm going to add adhesive on the right side of this panel, and we're just going to add a gold strip here. Maybe about 1/8 of it showing. Okay. And then I'm going to tack this down all the way to the left here. Then we're going to take our You Are Loved. I'm going to remove the backing. Stick that Just stick that to the back. I did not get it centered, but I don't think a wobble matters. I don't think it really matters. I put it a little bit more towards this side. And then I'm going to add this over here. Just give that a press. There you go. And then lastly, I'm going to take the greeting in the stamp set that says "Can't wait to hug you." We'll put this on an acrylic block. Actually, yeah. And then I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair. We'll ink this up. And I'm going to stamp this over here, right along that seam. Wonderful. And then all that's left to do is add a few bells and whistles. So we're going to bring back our Positively Dazzling gems. And then we're going to add a few little gems in our background. And then that will finish that card. A fun little wobble. Okay, I hope this gives you a few card ideas using the Simon Says Stamp July 2026 card kit called Pop Art. It's a really fun kit. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration, something a little bit different. We have some fun little spinners. We have a fun You Are Loved wobble. And then we also have a really fun spinning window card, spinner card here. But I hope this gives you some inspiration. Have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.